YouTube. What's up, guys? Just got to the shop. Today is February 1st, 2021. Here in Woodbury, New Jersey, it was snowing last night. So, you know what I gotta do? Let's go shovel some snow, alright? Time to drop some salt. Let's get it. Yeah, boy. Job well done. Back to the topic. So, I post my clippers on the groups, whether it be the Tune 45 group or just any other groups on Instagram and Facebook, and I posted my magic clips because I custom built them, and everyone asking me, how did you do it, where did you get it, how do you put it together? Alright, so I'm going to show you guys today how to take apart the magic clip and put it back together. So if you want to switch housings or whatever you want to do to it, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know in order to get that done. So stay tuned and let's get it. Alright, guys. Alright, so we're here. Here are two of the magic clips that I built. So the things that you're going to need in order to build your own custom magic clip is, first of all, you're gonna need a magic clip, obviously, and second of all, you're gonna need to order yourself the housing or the body kit that you would like to put on your magic clip. As to where I got mine, I will put the link in the description below in order for you guys to go look and find the housings as to where I got them. And I'm going to show you guys exactly how to take them apart and how to build them back up together. And in the process, I will show you how to zero gap the magic clip as well. So the first thing that you're going to need is you're going to need a screwdriver. Any screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver. Then you're also going to need flathead screwdriver. Doesn't really matter the size, but I would suggest for it to be a little bit smaller. And the reason for that is in order to take off this little part right here, because sometimes it doesn't just slide out when you push it. So you're going to need a little flathead to stick it in there to pop it out. Other than that, that's all that you need. Let's say that this is your regular stock magic clip and you want to put it onto the other case. Pretty much what you have to do is take it all apart, then move all the pieces over to the new body kit that you bought for your clippers. First step that you need to do is, first off, take the blade off. So you're going to loosen the two bolts that hold the blade into place. So once you take the screws off, the blade should come off like this. And this is good because you can also clean your clippers like this. So you see how it has all that extra hair? You can just clean. Well, look, this comes off as well. This right here is a ceramic blade. I'll also put the link in the description as to where I got the ceramic blade. This is not the stagger tooth blade that comes stock with the magic clip. This is just a regular blade from the Wahl Senior, but it's ceramic, and I put it on the magic clip. If you guys have like maybe some type of like a dust off or something like that in order to blow out the clipper, that'll also be great. You can get it anywhere, at Walmart, anywhere, Family Dollar, anywhere you want to go. And this is just for you to spray the hair out. The next step is to take the lever off. So you're gonna grab your Phillips screwdriver, you're gonna twist the screw off. And mind you that this screw screws into another little nut in the inside. Do not lose that little nut. Pull the screw out that holds the lever. Then the lever will come off as well. And then after that, you slide this little metal piece that holds the blade into place. Slide that off. And then guys, here is the little nut that I was talking about. Keep that together with the screw for the lever. Next is this little part right here. This little part is where the blade like rests on, the cutting blade rests on. You have to be very careful with taking this part off. You see, I just popped it off nice and smooth. Put that to the side. This right here, this is the tension spring. This is what keeps the blade like tight together. And without this piece, the blade will sound very loud and just like it won't sound right without this. This is a very important part of this clipper. So this little screw right here, believe it or not, is super important and also very difficult to get another one if you break it. Get a little bit of dust off, clean it out. This little black piece, that's where like the blade kind of like rests on. This piece right here, sometimes, most of the time, does not come when you order the body kits. So this one right here is actually from the actual stock body of the Magic Clip that I had. Just keep in mind that these are very, very important parts. All right, so what you're gonna do is take that piece off, which is the next step. You're just gonna unscrew both of these screws. And these screws are a little bit tight. So just work with them as best as you can. Bam. Next step is grabbing our flathead. This is where I said we would need our flathead. Because sometimes you can just pop this off, but sometimes you can't. So what I do is I just stick my flathead in right here, right in there, and I put a little bit of force into it until it pops off, like so. Okay, bam. The next part, you need to take off 3 screws. One of the screws goes right in here. I don't have it in there for whatever reason. So you're gonna take this screw out right here, and then you're gonna take the bottom 2 screws out as well. So we're gonna take the bottom 2 screws off. Alright, now that the bottom screws are off, now what we're going to do is we're going to take off the lid. Sometimes it's not. Well, as you see, for me it wasn't. It popped off nice and smooth. Alright, so now the lid is off. First thing that we're going to do is take off the battery. Unplug the battery. Unplug the battery, that case nothing happens and you don't get shocked, whatever. Then the next step we're going to do is we're going to take off the screws that hold the motor into place. Alright guys, now that you took the screws off, now we're gonna pop the motor housing off. It should come right off. And keep in mind that there is the metal piece, the magnet right there. I don't know if you guys can see the magnet. Make sure not to lose that magnet piece. The battery can just come right out. Shout out to Tune 45 for the Eco battery. Best battery ever for all Wahl clippers. Highly recommend it. The link will be in the description below. Alright, and then the next step that we're gonna do to unscrew these little bolts right here. These are for the power switch. Okay? So unscrew these two little screws. Took both the screws off. Now the motor and everything else should just come out as one piece, as you see here. Last step is, you see this little piece right here? This is the switch. In order to put the switch on, and the switch comes in two pieces. Comes with this piece, the actual switch, a little magnet ball. That's what gives it that clicky noise, and then the metal spring. Put the ball in that position. You put the metal piece back on here. Just don't click it in. This being the last part that we did, this is now going to be the first part that we do. So we're going to stick this back in here. Alright guys, so the next step is to put on the motor piece. So you grab the motor piece, you slide it right back into place, right how it was. And then you slide this red thing into the two slots that you're gonna see in there. Slide the charger piece in, it kind of all falls into place. Now you're gonna grab, remember those little tiny screws that go onto the switch of the clipper? You're gonna grab those screws and screw. Alright, after you guys put the two screws in, the next thing that you have to do is grab your battery, put the battery in, and connect the battery into that circuit board, that red circuit board. Once you do that, you're going to grab your motor housing. You're going to put the motor housing on. Make sure that the magnet is still in place. Put your screws that we're holding in the motor, hold that into place. Everything's on. You can test it, it'll turn on. Now we're gonna put the lid. So once the housing is on, the next thing you do is you're gonna put the last two screws in that are gonna hold it into place. Grab your lid, put the lid on. Bam. Now it's in there. So the next step that you're gonna do is remember that little bolt that I said that goes for the lever. Like, make sure you put that in first. That'll go in there. Then you're gonna put your tension screw right in there. kind of has like a little holding thing that'll hold it in place. Then next, you're gonna grab the lever holder. You're gonna put the lever holder back onto the side with the long side on this side, because see this long piece, that's where the lever goes on. So next, you're gonna grab your lever, put the lever into place with that lever screw. Screw it in, make sure that the lever that lines up with that little piece right there, that your lever is in the correct position. And when you're putting the lever on, depending on how tight you put it, will be how easy and harder it is to move it there. This little piece that goes on to hold the blade. Now, last but not least, you gotta put this last screw onto that piece. Alright, there we go, finally. That little magnet makes it difficult to put it in because it just wants to suck in the screw. The blade holder in there, make sure that the blade holder is underneath of the lever. So bottom piece, make sure it's not exposed. After that, put the cutting blade on there. Put the taper blade on there, or fade blade in this instant. Pop in the 2 lever screws. And you are done. Now just zero gap it. To zero gap it, all you gotta do is loosen the screw, line the cutting blade up with the taper blade or fade blade as close as possible. Hold this side, tighten it little by little on each one, alternating in and out. That way the blade doesn't move. Clipper is zero gapped. And that's exactly how you change the case on a Magic Clip. Signing out. Peace. Screwdriver.